Red button means we're live. A casual take with your boy Stephen Pepper. Here to give a take off my chest. Okay. Okay. You don't have to scream it at me. I watched that game on Saturday. I know my guy Shedeur Sanders was horrible. Okay. He did not play well at all. He was 3 for 6. I didn't even realize he only had to throw 6 passing attempts, probably because he took 5 sacks at a loss of 41 yards. It's not good. Not good at all. I got no excuses for that. He did not play well. And it got so bad to the point that Kevin Stefanski pulled him in favor of Snoop Huntley to go win the game in the end. I'll get to that in a second because that really ticked me off. But first, let me say this. It is clear to me now that the Browns just aren't in the business of developing Shedeur. They just aren't. Like, it's obvious they got favorites. They don't value Shedeur as highly as I do. And it makes me ask, why did they even draft him? Right? Like, whether it was intentional or not, they absolutely humiliated him on Saturday. Now, as a Shedeur guy, I want to make it clear. I do not think he played well at all on Saturday, okay? Refused to step up in the pocket, held on to the ball too long, unnecessarily bad sacks. What have we been saying since Colorado? It's his biggest red flags, and they got exposed against the Rams. I get all that. But when Shedeur does play well, they refuse to move him up the depth chart, increase his reps. But the second he struggles, and he did on Saturday because they threw him out there with future DoorDash employees at offensive line and wide receiver, okay, guys who were going to get cut the next day, and they did. Instead of letting him redeem himself on a 2-minute drive to go win the game, they pulled him in favor of Snoop Huntley, who they knew they were going to cut, and they did. When the Browns are kind of having a little quarterback battle. That doesn't sound like fair development to me. So who really is in the interest of developing Shedeur Sanders? It can't really be the Browns. Because you can't tell me you're trying to evaluate Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel on the same playing field. It's just not the same. And this isn't a biased fan talk. I'm trying to be objective as possible. And not sound like all the delusional Shedeur fans on social media. But I'm watching this game, and I can't help but see, Dillon Gabriel has gotten some first-team reps throughout the summer. Shedeur hasn't. Dillon Gabriel got a 2-minute drive to end a half. Shedeur didn't. Dillon Gabriel got to play with better weapons and better offensive linemen like a Gage Larvin than Shedeur. Dillon Gabriel got hurt for most of training camp. Dillon Gabriel had 2 turnovers in his first preseason game. Never lost a rep. Shedeur Sanders gets pulled from a game as soon as he struggles. Now, if you don't even trust my eyes, how about a Hall of Fame quarterback? Kurt Warner, ever heard of him? Because he pretty much said the same thing I did. He posted on Twitter the morning after the game, I was really looking forward to the competition between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in the last preseason game. I know it plays out like this sometimes, but a bummer that both didn't have the same ops to make plays. DG, but had good ops to make plays. SS didn't have the same ops, so it's hard to make much of an assessment. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, listen, I never once thought Shedeur should start. I don't think he should. He's not ready. I don't think Shedeur's week 1 starter ready. But you can't tell me you're trying to have this battle here evaluating Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, but you're not giving them the same playing field. Now, this is the kind of take that I have that I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter push back and say, this is exactly why Shedeur fell the 5th round. Once the NFL established that he wasn't a first-round talent, no one wanted a circus for their second or third-string quarterback. Circus? Let me tell you something. The only reason why Shedeur is even a circus is because he's on the Browns. If Shedeur Sanders was Patrick Mahomes' backup, wouldn't hear a peep. All those pro-delusional Shedeur Sanders fanboys that cap for him, some people might say it's me. I wouldn't say that. That's me. If he was Mahomes' backup, wouldn't hear a peep. But since the Browns are the clowns and they can't figure out their quarterback situation and they're starting Joe Flacco and they got Dillon Gabriel and Kenny Pickett behind them, and some of us think Shedeur's as good as those guys, just needs the right shot. Yeah, they're going to scream that the Browns are mismanaging his development. Okay, but I couldn't help but watch that game and think, oh, yeah, this is the exact situation the Browns would like to have with Shedeur Sanders. Go into week 1, quiet. Okay? No Shedeur momentum like we saw in the first preseason game, because it's not a coincidence that Shedeur had his best preseason game when he started. Okay? But go into the season without Shedeur hype so they can do what they want. Because it's clear, I've said since day one, the Browns don't really like Shedeur. Okay, this wasn't Haslam's pick. He publicly stated it. Kevin Stefanski, maybe as the player, but just at least like he likes Gabriel more running the offense, and he hates, you could just tell, whatever he says post-game, hates the Shedeur attention. So this was kind of the game that they like going into week one. Shedeur's quiet. And it just brings me back to my point. Why the hell did they even draft Shedeur? Because you can't tell me that you're in the interest of developing him when you're not leveling the playing field with him and Dylan Gabriel. You got to make Shedeur work twice as hard. And that's why Shedeur took all this bad sacks, is because Shedeur was like, okay, they're not increasing my reps when I ball out. I got to extra ball out to even get this attention. And it backfired. So, like, I just don't think the Browns are in the development of drafting Shedeur Sanders. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode of A Casual Take. Follow my social media. Stay updated on all things related to the show. Until next time.